Social shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this, some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this beat myself, so hear me. I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Oh, feel like I be 10 feet. Oh, yo, first and foremost, big up John, because, yo, I'm always bumping to that rhythm in the background. Always, 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 always. Ah, big up Pete's, man. We're back. Another match reaction. Drop points. Not so great performance. Liverpool couldn't really get over the line. Arsenal looking like they could catch up. We've had some misses, some stinky performances. Yo, it is actually a madness. Big up the gaffer inside the building as well. Guys, make sure you are smashing the like, sharing, subscribing, all of that good stuff. Yeah, we're going to talk about a few people. We're going to talk about a couple of players I wanted to dive into. First and foremost, though, gaffer, chat to me, man. How are you?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I feel vindicated. I told man 2-2. I told man 2-2. No, but I told man 2-2. You said 2-1. We got the 2-2.
No, I said we lose 2-1. To be fair, I said we lose.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. That's
oh
what I meant.
yeah. So yeah.
So I got the 2-2. So bragging rights. But yeah, it's obviously looking at the performance, looking at how Liverpool just played, the form we've been in. I wouldn't have said it was a 2-2 in this game, but yeah, look, we'll touch on it. We'll get into the game.
Nah, man, we'll get into it now, of course. Obviously, I put a poll out. Obviously, I did this yesterday, but I was on the terrace and then I was just tired. I saw everyone's reaction. I said, let's wait until the morning. Maybe people have calmed down a little piece and we can obviously have a civilized conversation, in the morning. And I said, whose miss was worse, Jota or Nunez? But we'll get to those two. Obviously, Liverpool, obviously there was no Cody Gakpo in this game. This was the lineup that, of course, that we had. So obviously Robbo, Van Dijk, Konate, Trent, Mac, Grav in the middle with Jones on the left, Szoboszlai, and Salah with Jota up top. Now, obviously, I didn't even get to see the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, but I was listening to what you guys were saying in the chat and stuff. Just in terms of the setup and how we set up in those first 10 minutes, how did you kind of see it? Did you like it? Yeah, like, chat to me, because I didn't really get to see that first 10 minutes.
Yeah, man. Obviously, it was different to what we kind of experience usually because we didn't have an out-and-out wide player. So, like in Jones. So what it seemingly looked like, right, is usually, we spoke about on Big Up how the back four are quite flat and they kind of want that position to bring them on so we can isolate our wingers 1v1. In this game, it's the first game we actually saw it move back into like what we saw on the clock, which was our fullbacks really, really high. So you can see how high Robbo is and how high Trent is in comparison to where he usually is. And then that was providing the width, allowing Curtis Jones to come in field a bit more. McAllister covering the left half space, like just covering the wide areas for where obviously Robbo goes. So to the left of Virgil van Dijk, and Gravenberch doing the same and covering the right areas to allow Trent to be influential in central areas, but able to obviously go out wide as well. And yeah, it looked better than what it's been. But yeah, obviously it's not the best thing I've ever seen, but we look like we controlled Aston Villa. Like the start of that game, I was thinking, oh, we're gonna really like my prediction was poor. Like the first 20 minutes, I was like, oh, okay, we're really gonna beat them because we're creating chances, but we're controlling the game and we're stopping them from really countering, which I think we've done well. As the game progressed, though, that kind of changed, and I think obviously looking at subs and all of that, and just certain performances and fatigue, I think it all played a part, man.
Nah, man, most definitely. And obviously that's when I kind of locked in, because I was listening, like I said, I was listening to the guys in the chat and they were obviously talking about how it kind of looked. I know Ram was saying something about Diamond. Hey, Ram, There's no diamond, my brother.
But no.
There's no
See, sorry, man. I
diamond.
don't know how they're watching football. You know, them man that just.
Hey, Ram was making me
Fix
laugh.
him
I
up.
was like, diamond. I was like, all right, cool. If you say diamond, then diamond, isn't it? Like, I'm not arguing with you. You see diamond. I can't really fight that, man. But this is obviously how it looked. Obviously, you can see the expected goals. Liverpool had 17 shots. I think I did my what do you call it? The monthly review, right? So that would have been for January. And one of the things that I spoke about in that review was, if you look back on Liverpool's games throughout that month, right, you'll see that we have loads of shots, but then the shots on target and the actual goals that we do actually get is quite minimal. And I said it reminded me of FIFA games where man will be licking off shots like there's no tomorrow, but these times you only bagged one or two. And this game was kind of similar to that. Obviously, we had those big chances, which again, you know, we'll kind of get into. But when I looked at it on the face of it, again, from when I locked in to the end of the game, so I don't want to speak on that first 15, 20 minutes, so to speak. Jerry can rap about that. But obviously, you can see how the rest of the game kind of panned out. Obviously, they had more duels won, more ground duels won. We won more aerial duels. They had more tackles just by one, to be fair. We had more interceptions, and we made more clearances in this game. And I think with how the game kind of panned out later on, and again, we'll talk about a few of the individuals, I started to see that there's a few players in that well, I say a few players, only 3 players in the midfield, right? But or in the central midfield. But some of those players in the center of midfield, or a couple of them, I don't know, man. Like, I'm starting to just get a little bit annoyed at watching them, especially in these last like few games. Jerry's just gone there. Especially in these last like few games, when I'm watching Liverpool, I'm just like, hey, come on, man. I need a little bit more from you in these kind of games when your back's up against the wall, you know, and we're under a little bit of pressure. And it's not even pressure by shots and all that stuff. It's just pressure from the team. You know, Villa at home, you know, they're a good team as well. It's not like they're just, you know, just a rubbish team. So when you're up against that kind of, would I say, somewhat threat, I do need to see a little bit more. So from players, even like a McAllister, now he was a bit of a busybody in there, but I did feel at times it was like, yeah, you're doing a whole lot of something. You're doing a whole lot of something, but nothing at the same time. Like, it's a lot of just trying to win fouls, diving here and there. Don't worry, I saw some of those things. He's putting himself about and all that kind of stuff, which is cute, but it's not really influencing the game as such. Gravenberch, I thought he was absolutely terrible. Offered me nothing. Felt like I was playing with one less in the middle of the park. And then, of course, obviously, Szoboszlai, which we'll talk about, you know, in a second. I just felt like in these kind of games, this is where I'm looking for some of these players that, you know, we've hyped up over the last couple of months. I need them to kind of show me what you're about. You know, this is a tough game away to Villa, and hence why I see quite a lot of people talking about, you know, this is a good point and stuff like that. Yeah, in retrospect, when you look at the beginning of a season, let me see that signal. When you look at the beginning of a season, yeah, of course, you look at Villa, and I think Arne Slot even, you know, referenced that. You know, at the beginning of a season, you look at Villa away, you think, oh yeah, you know what, this could be a tough game and etc. I get all of that, but ultimately, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, yeah, but we've reached that time now where I do need to pick up points. You know, if we're talking about, yeah, champions this, champions that, now we are relying on Arsenal to lose this game effectively, so that at least the point gap isn't so crazy like as it could potentially be. I'm looking at it thinking I needed to go away to Villa and win. Now, I'll be honest with you, you know, all this, yeah, this is a good point because it's Villa. No. I need you to go away to Villa and win. That's what we're doing, right? Like that's kind of how, you know, people kind of want to see it is champions. You go away to Villa and, you know, you get that victory. You know, and again, I know a lot of you don't really care about the performance. Well, this is one of the reasons why I speak quite a lot on it, is because if the performances, you know, are not really there and you're not getting the victory, it's going to show up like this. And this is something that, you know, I'm seeing quite a lot, especially 2025. You know, I've not really felt that Liverpool have been that good. You know, and last night was kind of a perfect example, you know, of that. But big up, Jerry. I just got you back in there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, look, Arne Slot, heard him speak obviously after the game. Obviously, he spoke about, you know, the miss and everything. Again, we'll get to that. Listen, I felt like Liverpool were better than they were against Wolves. Still didn't think they were good enough, though. I didn't think that it was good enough watching the game. I don't really care about how many shots and chances and all this kind of stuff. I just didn't really feel, again, just like the feeling I had against Wolves is the similar feeling that I had in this game was, yeah, you're not really out of it. like what? Sorry, Villa are not really out of it. They're not really like, oh my goodness, yeah, you know, we've just put the game to bed, or there's that feel, you know, at this point in time that, yeah, you know what, we're just gonna, you know, absolutely just run away with it. I never really felt that. And the reality is, that kind of game epitomized why I keep harping on about this, on, you know, in terms of, if your performance levels ain't really up there, you can't keep, you know, getting Salah to bail you out, you know, in these situations. Because when you come up against a team that have an Ollie Watkins, Marcus Rashford, Asensio, and all of these kind of guys who can put the ball in the back of the net when you need Tielemans, you know, when they kind of need them to, sometimes your shoddy-ish kind of performance, and it wasn't even like we were shit, because I don't think we were shit, it's just your not so great performance. You can't just get away with that. You can get away with that against Brentford, against Wolves and them, man. Of course you can, because they just might not have the quality. These guys have got the quality though. So you give them an inch, they take a mile. And that's exactly, in my opinion, what kind of, you know, patterned out. But I don't know how Jerry kind of saw the game, you know, as a whole.
Yes, it's a weird one. I feel like in possession, we're really good. I actually liked it. It was probably one of the better games in recent months. Do you know what I mean? Where I looked and I was like, oh, the patterns were there. I like what we were doing. Curtis Jones, having him just in midfield means we're moving the ball much quicker. The only that kind of issue I've got is in certain moments, Liverpool just fail to go and just do the basics well, which in turn lead to us looking at the result like a poor result, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
So obviously, Sobo, I mean, you were doing all right, you were working hard, you were running well, but in two moments, defensively and offensively, like, or a couple moments offensively, to be fair, making the wrong decision, you're not shooting, your feet are getting stuck under your, like, I mean, your balls getting stuck under your feet, and it's just, I'm just tired of this type of like decent performance, but in critical moments we're not having a standout moment, and I think that's what is sometimes needed. Like Nunes needed that standout moment today, and obviously we'll touch on it, but he didn't do that, and ultimately it led to us costing points, because the game's completely different if we defend better in those two moments and score a goal. You're looking at the game, it could be 3-0, and you're like, wow, that was a really, really good performance. Aston Villa are a tricky team, but you dealt with it. Liverpool weren't able to deal with it. That's why I was looking at the performances we had against Plymouth, etc., and I just said, you know what? Yeah, we're going to draw this game. I just had a feeling we're going to drop points, and lo and behold, we have done.
No, man, totally agree, man. And you know, I'm even looking now. In 2025, we have 2 clean sheets in 2025, and that is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's now our 8th game. We're now into February. In 8 games, Liverpool have 2 clean sheets in 2025. You know, we are conceding goals. Now, it's not a lot of goals. I mean, the most we've conceded is 2 in one game, or twice actually, to Everton and Manchester United, coincidentally. But we are conceding goals. Our clean sheet came against Bournemouth and Brentford. So 2 away games that we've had those clean sheets. And yeah, I don't know what it is as well with the defense, man. Sometimes I think it's like these momentary lapses of concentration, even, you know, for that Tielemans goal. I was just sitting there thinking like, what? But then the Watkins goal, I said, brother, McAllister, you need to be following that run, my bro. Like, not even, like, he was right. Like, I feel like unless he just had tunnel vision, he was almost in your peripherals, like to your left-hand side. Yeah, because the ball's coming from that side to that left-hand side. I'm like, surely you can, like, it's not like he sprinted in there or he did a mad, bro. He was like jogging, like literally jogged in because of how the ball obviously was coming into the box. And I was like, what, nobody's going to pick him up? Like, no one. Then I'm looking, I'm thinking, bro, McAllister, like, bro, that's yours. Like, you surely, like, that's what you're there for. Like, do you know what I mean? I need you there, you know, in that kind of position in order for you to, you know, be able to stop him from getting that kind of goal. And especially because he is a threat in the box. Like, surely, like, I don't know, alarm bells should be ringing if I'm seeing Ollie Watkins. Okay, he's just popped the ball off to the left. I can't remember who he gave it to first. I think it was Asensio, and then Asensio gave it to someone else to cross the ball in. But I'm like, okay, if you can see he's done that. In my eyes, I'm thinking surely between the whole defense and whoever else was back there, McAllister, I think Gravenberch was back there. Someone has to be like, okay, guys, just make sure Ollie Watkins.
How a striker, yeah, can get the ball, hold it up, set it out wide, run into the box, and he's the one that scores the goal.
And that's what I'm saying, bro.
That's like a normal pattern that every team does at every level of football. Striker
bro, I was doing that in under 11s.
Get to out wide and get into the box, bro. Get into, so you follow your man, innit? But we didn't follow our man. And then again, we're going to talk about these, man. But Mr. Hullet in midfield, do you know what I mean? Poor performance, and you stop the cross. Your role for that game, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, was, like we just showed in that thing, is to go and cover the wide areas, right? So what happened is that obviously we lost the ball. Trent, obviously, that's fine. That can happen. You can lose the ball. Trent's covering the centre lane. Gravenberch goes out wide. Trent tucks back in, so they can't just like play straight through us. He's in a good position. Positionally, it's not about where you, like, what position you're playing in, but defensively, we're in the right areas. Gravenberch has to stop the cross. He has to stop the cross. And what he does, he lets the cross come in yet again when he's in those areas. Yeah,
I was going to say,
Henderson,
this seems to be,
they never allowed that to happen. They never allowed that to happen. But him, he's allowed it to happen now. Go.
Do you think, because you've mentioned this before, to be fair, this, like, Gravenberch always seems to be the one who lets the cross in. I've kind of noticed, this isn't the first time that a cross has come in, and Gravenberch has been the one who you haven't really gone to really close it down, kind of thing. He always seems to be the one. Now, whether it's just coincidental, but you're not stopping these crosses into the box, which obviously then poses a danger, you know, later on. So again, and that was, he's one of the players, you know, that I did want to speak about in terms of, how did you find his performance in a general sense?
Crap. That crap. Like, this is where we talk about, you know, when you want someone that's really incisive on the ball, that doesn't need to carry it, that can use the ball, a la Busquets, a la whoever midfielder you want to go and chuck in there, right? That is the difference. Because when there's no space to run into and you can't run with the ball, you're taking away a massive feature of his game. He's not going to be as good now. So now, unless he's beating 5 man, he's not. He's just passing it left, right, centre, which is fine. You need someone doing that. But someone's got to be a bit more incisive, or you've got to get the ball and move it quickly to the players that can pass. But he's someone that takes a lot of touches, which again, I don't mind my midfielders taking a lot of touches with the ball. But you need to be a bit more like people don't even like see it, but you saw with Curtis Jones, the passing he makes the team move the ball a bit different because he picks out the right areas. Gravenberch doesn't do that as often, doesn't do that as much. And I think along with fatigue now, we're seeing just a leveling out of Gravenberch's performances where he was like 9 out of 10, dropped to like 8, now going into the 7s and 6s, you know. And if he's going to stay at 7s and 6s, then Liverpool are going to have to go and get the Zubimendi guy in it, if that's what Slot wants, because you need someone, do you know what I mean, in games like this where it's not working out, so you can just go and be like, nah, actually, Zubimendi, you're playing. Because if you had a better passes and usage of the ball, for how much possession we had, especially in that first half, I think we'd have been fine. We'd actually been fine.
Yeah, man. No, I agree with the what you said in regards to his performance, man. I just think, at this point, I don't actually care why your performances are bad. You're just not playing well. Like, I don't care. Like, the reasoning isn't something that I'm looking too deep into, because the reality is this: like, everyone's gonna have these dips. I get all of that, and that's fine. But they all seem to still provide me something. So if Salah has dips in performances, guess what? He'll provide me GA. If Virgil van Dijk still has that dip in performances, I don't know, he'll still get me the block challenge or whatever. He'll defend in the moments. I feel like with Gravenberch at this current moment in time, like, you're not providing me anything. Like, there isn't anything that you're doing that I'm like, okay, at least Gravenberch is in there. And by the way, we're going to go through a couple players. I don't think I'm just talking about one player, especially specifically, but I've noticed this in the past like 4 games. But everyone's kept really, really quiet about this, though. I've not heard one person, content creator, you fans, social media. I've not heard nothing from anybody in regards to his performances. But yet, to be honest with you, he's probably been one of the worst midfielders in the last few games. Hasn't offered us anything in the middle of the park. These times, Endo be coming off the bench getting man of the match. But yet, Gravenberch is playing all the time. If he is tired, which, cool, if he's tired, bro, drop him. So drop him against City. I don't care. He's not offering me anything anyway. It's not like, oh, I'm going to miss him being in the middle of the park. He's not doing anything. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, but he has to play. He has to play for what? He don't provide goals. He don't provide assists. He's not tackling well. He's not covering well. What, the little letting the ball run across your body and that, like, is that what I don't care about that. I don't care. And it didn't help yesterday, clearly. I think he made no tackles in the game. I think from what I saw, Gravenberch made no tackle. He won 1 ground duel out of 6. So again, you're offering me nothing, brother, nothing. So guess what? I kind of need you to get out of the team for a sec. Whether it's just 1 game, no worries. Come off the bench, no worries, because you're still obviously a quality player. If we're going on what he's obviously done this season. So I'm not banishing you to the basement or anything like that. So I don't want anyone to take it like that. But brother, you've been poor for time. And you man, like Slot's not dropping you. That's obviously on Slot as well. I'm not blaming just Gravenberch because he's gonna play if the manager asks him. But I'm like, brother, like you can't just keep playing these guys and they're not really performing. But then you've got these other guys sitting on the bench who want to play, but you don't want to play them. Like, to me, it's just weird. Like, I mean, even the reality that Chiesa, like, why'd you keep putting Chiesa on the bench? I'd rather you just put Rio on the bench. Like, Chiesa being on the bench is so pointless. Like, it is actually pointless, you being here. I don't need him on the bench. Bring him on.
No, but it's just English football experience, G. That's all it is. All it is.
But what experience are you gaining, though? I'm confused. What experience are you gaining?
Just being able to say, oh, I went to games, innit? Just like, do you know what I mean? I went away. I was at Villa Park. That's it.
Come on, bro. Like it's come on, man. It's silly, man. It's silly, man. Man, seeing kids. I forgot. I didn't even know he was even on the bench because he didn't come on. And then I looked. I was like, oh yeah, he's the last name on the list. Well, you didn't want to bring him on at all. Like nothing. Diaz has been playing the last however many in games. You thought, in my head, I would have just thought that you would have at least just brought him on for something different. But instead, you decided to bring on other players. Now, I'm not angry at the fact that you choose other players, but you keep putting him on the bench. So I'm like, why do you keep putting him on the bench and never using him? I would understand if you used him in 3 out of the last 4 games as an example, but you haven't. So I'm like, so why does he put Rio there? Let Rio get that experience of coming to games and, you know, being around the first team and all of that kind of stuff. What's the point of Chiesa even being here? Like, I just find that bit in itself so useless. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Szoboszlai. He was one of the players I wanted to talk about. Absolutely frustrating.
Yeah, you start on that. You start on that, man. Yeah.
Like, listen, look, I've backed him, you know, this season. You know, I've said, you know, many a time, there's a reason why Slot puts him in. And he exhibited some of that last night, you know, in terms of his performances and off the ball and stuff like that. But as Jerry alluded to, brother, it felt like every time. So there might have been 1 or 2 times. I apologize if that was true. Every single freaking time this guy got the ball in those forward areas, the ball kept getting, I remember Enny said it, ball kept getting stuck under your feet. You weren't picking the right options. I said, brother, you weren't shooting. When there was a moment, I remember it was in the first half. It was in the first half where he got the ball on the edge of the box. Instead of either shooting or playing Salah in, the guy started to dawdle on the ball. And then by that point, Villa, I can't remember who it was, maybe it was Tielemans or Ramsey, one of the two. They get back, and then now he's kind of closed out. And now he has to kind of pop it back to Trent, and who's then got to pop it back. I said, what are you doing? Every time, though. He had that one good moment where, well, we'll talk about that in a sec, but that one good moment where obviously he's playing that pass, you know, into Darwin Núñez for the miss. And I said, what, is that it? Like, you're not offering me what I need. And Jerry made a joke, obviously, I see it on Twitter. I was going to put it up there, to be fair. You know, he said on Twitter about Szoboszlai being a DM. Obviously, I'll let you elaborate, you know, on that, man.
Yeah, man. Just to echo what you said, he does everything but doing stuff creatively. He's honestly the Hendo. We said it at the time, but he's the Hendo replacement, and that's all he's going to be. But he's not going to be as good as Hendo. It's like trying to get the next Salah. You're not going to get anyone as good as Salah. And ultimately, what we're seeing is when it comes to that work rate thing, yeah, you can run around, but there's a way in which you do it. There's an intelligence that comes with it. There's an IQ that comes with it. There's an IQ of when, obviously, at Hendo at his best, of course, when to play the right pass, when to carry the ball, when to go and play an outside the foot pass, when to assist. And Henderson was able to go and do that at an elite level. Bear in mind, he wasn't even playing as, you know, high up the pitch as, you know, as Sobo is. He does everything but creatively, man. So for me, I think he's being misprofiled. I think he's a DM. And I think, you know, if he played in DM, and I always go back to last season when we played with 10 men and he came deep and started getting the ball and spraying passes, that was one of the best performances I've seen from him. So I think that's his role. I think, Soboslai for me is Fabinho trying to play it in the 10. You're only going to get a certain amount. Yeah, he might pop up with a goal here and there, but, what's he going to do after that?
You say he's going to pop up with a goal here and there. I don't even know how many goals that this guy, but I like, honestly, it needs to be studied, his kind of role since he left RB Leipzig, because you took a guy, yeah, and obviously, listen, he's got these other attributes, so I can sort of understand in terms of, coming to a different team, maybe you might play, but it feels like you're playing a completely different role to what we thought you was going to play. Obviously, we now know, yes, that Hendo role, blah, blah, blah. But in terms of when we first signed him, I didn't look at him like, yeah, this is going to be the Hendo guy. Even if he had all it, like, which he does, have all of this energy and, can get around the pitch and blah, blah, blah. But you turned a guy who was like, edge of the box, rattling shots off all the time, wasn't shook ever, making the right passes, link up play with Nkunku and all these kind of things. But he was solid. Like, there wasn't, I didn't look at man and think, this brother's a bit shoddy, Like, if I saw this Szoboszlai, I wouldn't want to sign him. I'd be like,
no. This almost like, look. There's such a, we talk about this, but the thing is, people are going to be reactionary, right? Because earlier this season, when I was telling man, no, you know what, Jones has got to play instead of Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai had a decent run where some energy was needed in certain games. And
nope, sound like it just cut out there.
can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, you're back now.
Sorry, I got a call come through. But no, it was Jones has got to do this. Jones has got to, come off. Szoboszlai needs to come in. He's the one that's gonna, give us the energy and do this and do that. And ultimately, what I'm saying is, he cannot play in those areas. He's there for energy only. He's there to press only, and that is it. And if that's the case, bruv, I beg you just play out right back, so you can go up and down and just cross balls in. I beg you play as a DM. Maybe if Trent goes, Szoboszlai can go to right back. That's what I would do, because honestly, right now, take that number 8 off his top again. We've given it it's a disservice to that number 8 yet again. We thought we had Gerrard this time. Do you know what I mean? Even I lost the. Do you know what I mean? I drank the Kool-Aid, and at a point I was like, bruv, he might be the equivalent, shooting from. Nah, he's never gonna do that, bruv. Man can't shoot for shit. He can't shoot for shit, and when he does, it's just like this little dribbling low shot. Ross,
yeah, literally.
Why? Hold on. How is Jota and Nunes a better shooter than you? I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
Right now, honestly, he's got no personality about him. He's got no personality, man. No personality. And if we can get a 10 somewhere else, innit? If we can get a 10.
This is my thing. Like, it bothers me, because I'm just like, bro, like I understand why you're in the team. You being in the team, like, your role in the team, I get it now. Like, now, officially, I understand it, right? As Jerry said, you're there to provide the energy and all of that kind of stuff. He's got 5 goals and 5 assists this season, by the way, in all competitions. So he's got 10 GA for those out there. But it just frustrates me when I'm seeing you in these areas, right? Like, if you're going to be the one in these areas, that's what bothers me. I don't mind if Szoboszlai does everything he does do off the ball and tracking back and getting up and down. I don't mind, as long as you're not the one now in those areas, because you're showing time and time again. And listen, I will back Szoboszlai, because I still think like that I've still got a few stocks, in this player, right? But I start to think twice when I'm looking at him, and I'm like, but why does Slot keep putting you in these areas? Like, why did it have to be you in and around the box? You're like the worst person alongside probably Gravenberch in terms of being in and around the box. But why does it have to be you? Can't it be someone else, bro? Like, I beg it just be someone else. Or you're going to have to start playing this number 10 a bit differently, where you don't require them to be this all-action Jackson up and down midfield, but then I also need you in that number 10 position in those kind of areas. Like, something will then need to change. Not now, because obviously we're in the middle of this season. I'm more talking about for next season, because I can't continue watching you in these areas, bro. Like, I actually can't. I can't keep backing you all the time where it's like, yeah, but he's there for the energy and da-da-da, which is fine. I'm good with that part. I just don't want you near the goal anymore. You provide me nothing near goal, like nothing. And it's irritating. And yes, that last night I was just like, bro, it's like, I can understand one game. I can understand, but bro, it's all the time. And then last night you were doing it so many times. It was like infuriating because I'm sitting there saying, bro, play him in, pop the ball there, do that. I'm thinking, but like in my mind, and again, maybe I'm just wrong. I ain't never played number 10 before. So maybe I just don't know, but I've watched enough number 10s in my life. More time, these number 10, like a number 10, like Florian Wirtz or Erdegaard, they would
you don't even need to go for the best
playing.
of the best. To go for Maddison, go for flipping.
Oh yeah, cool.
For,
Maddison.
Go for Buendia, go for flipping all them, man. Go for all good Rogers. Go look at them.
Fucking no savage. All of these guys, like all those players that have just been named there, they would love playing for Liverpool, you know, because the options are there. It's not like I'm looking at it thinking, bro, like there's no options for man like an Arsenal team where it's like, bro, there's not really any real options for you to pop the ball in or all that kind of. Bro, there's options. Man are providing runs. Man are pulling into space on, you know, out wide. Like, or you can go and get the glory. How about that? How about you go and get, like, I'm not going to be mad at my attacking midfielder if you go and try and pop shots. I'm not going to be mad at that. Why would I? That's what you're there for. So eventually, over a period of time, it will level itself out and you'll start getting yourself goals, you know, arriving late into the box and, you know, getting all of these things will happen. But they're just not happening with man. And like I said, last night, broski, like, I don't think you understand how infuriated I was. Maybe because I've been trying to, you know, back him as a player and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But I'm watching him and I'm sitting there thinking, you're one of those, like, in this game specifically, I need to take you off. Because if I don't take you off, I'm running on the pitch and I'm punching you in the face. Like, one of the two is happening and I can't do the latter. So guess what? I just need you to come off.
Do you know how mad it is though? Like it's what you're saying. It's like he doesn't want to take the glory. Do you know why he doesn't want to take the glory? A, because he ain't got the personality to. He's just not that guy. He's not that guy like, I'm here. He's skipper for Hungary because he's just the best player, not because he's the leader in that team. There's other men that are leading in that team, in my opinion. And secondly, it all stems from the fact that Liverpool can't keep the ball for a long period. The reason why Erdegaard and them man can keep having shots, the reason why Ronaldo and that who just have bare shots, is because they know, yeah, cool, Liverpool are going to win the ball back and keep it. When you're shook that it's every time you lose the ball, you're getting counted on, you start to just play a simple pass and try and keep it. Then everyone starts to become sideways and backwards passes, as opposed to being direct with what they want to do, in my opinion.
Nah, it's true. It's true that and again, that's something that I'm noticing quite a lot in these last few games as well. We ain't keeping the ball like that. And again, like it happened last night, but like it happened in moments, to be fair, not as much as it did against Wolves. But I guess the context is we needed a goal to win the game, not we were already winning the game. It was very slow, blah, 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 back and forth, this, that. And I was like, guys, we're trying to win the game. You know, like I need a third goal here. I need a third goal, you know. Probably around about the time that Rom said, yeah, now we'll win this. And I was like, yeah. I need that urgency, though. But I also needed to keep the ball fucking better, though, bro. Like, for some weird reason, I don't know what it is, because we've got players in there, I feel, who can keep the ball pretty decently. But for some reason, I don't know, it's like misplaced passes here. Not really like Jones. I did like his performance. Before we move on to the next player, I liked Jones's performance. There was one actual sequence where we were in like the in the right back areas in the first half. It was in that right back area, and obviously we're trying to clear the ball, you know, upfield. We couldn't really quite get it out. Jones got the ball, and it's like he looked to go forward, but then checked back a bit. When he checked back, everyone went that way. He kind of popped the ball back, and I was like, okay, yeah, a bit of sense of calmness. Do you know what I mean? Like that sequence, I remember thinking when it happened, I was like, yeah, that was nice from Jones, you know, because it just kind of calmed everything out, and we were able to play out from that moment and get the ball over to the left-hand side, which is obviously what we were trying to do, you know, in the first place. But yeah, everybody else, yeah. Anyways, Alisson, I'm gonna let Jerry go because I know he's a big fan of Alisson.
Yeah, you see, Ali, yeah, it's time, bro. It's time. Especially with this new manager and the way we want to go and play and keep the ball at the back and be slow and patient. The reason why, yeah, just to start, innit? Just to caveat everything. The reason why, man, like Gary Neville and Carragher and English football in general talk about moving the ball fast is A, of course, it makes for a more entertaining game. You can go and catch teams off. That's English football to play really, really fast. At the same time, though, it means that you negate the risk of being pressed, right? So if you've got the ball in a rondo and you're playing 1 and 2 touch, the reason why you tell your players to play 1 and 2 touch is because the rondo's designed to make it very, very chaotic in terms of a press, right? So you're being pressed. They're in a circle, but you're being pressed. The quicker you move the ball, the less time there is for you to go and make an error. When we're playing slow like this brother with his feet, this guy, and the thing is, the worst thing about it is that we spoke about this at the beginning of the season. When we're looking at slot, we're on your show and we're like, look, it might be a situation where, Kelleher might be the starter, because with his feet, he's just much, much better. I remember you even saying, and you were like, nah, look, might have to be another goalkeeper. And then we'll obviously talk about Mamardashvili saying that, look, with his feet, he's not that great, or we haven't seen him do it because of the team he's at. But Alisson with his feet is terrible, man. Like, he's terrible. Like, and the worst thing about it is you're seeing the good of him in the games. Like, he saved that one-on-one from Marlon, which obviously was a big, obviously, save that he made at the near post. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I've seen you just come out and get the ball, and we're like a Neuer or an Ederson at their best. Again, I'm saying Ederson at their best would have got that ball right and just stepped into it and then just played the pass. Alisson decided to go to ground and slide, missed the whole chance, and Aston Villa had a chance. Obviously, missed the ball, and then Aston Villa had a chance from it where Rashford tried to lob Konate, and Konate got his head to it. Ironically, on the other pitch, you had a keeper there that commanded his box, did that on the ball, was really, really good as well. And when that time came out to come out, he went and made the right decision and slid and tackled Darwin Núñez. Now, I don't know what's going on with him, but I don't know what you can say, because obviously you're like I'm not a fan of keepers like that anyway, innit? So I need my keepers to be on the ball. I don't coach keepers. Keepers always by themselves. Do you know what I mean? You bring the keeper over for the session, you tell them to F off again, innit? So I'm not like, look, we're going to struggle without a keeper. I can admit and be like, look, that's been outstanding. What I would say though is, if you've got the ball for 60% of the game, and 9 times out of 10, 50% of that game is played in the first 2/3, because you're not going to be playing in the attacking third. It's very difficult to just dominate position in the opposition's half, right? It means actually getting a lot of touches of the ball. You need someone that's going to be better on the ball, bro. Because if you've got Ederson on the ball in that game, right, some of the passes that he's playing straight away is getting almost like in straight, like, to be able to drive with the ball and get the best out of him. Alisson currently isn't doing that. And Alisson used to be really good in transition when we make a save and then we just lump it forward and Salah runs onto it. It was never off the floor, swazzy pass like what Ederson did. And that for me is going to be a problem if we're going to continue to play the way we play. If we play on transition and we want to play that team, and Alisson's crucially important because he makes the saves and all that, and we can admit it. But Liverpool are playing a slower based football. You need players that are good on the ball. And across the pitch, it's not only Alisson. We've got players that are just not accustomed to it because they haven't had to do it. And there's a difference between doing it at Liverpool and then doing it at a higher level, like where, do you know what I mean? Putting your foot on the ball, delaying, man are pressing you, you're waiting, you're having to pop it into a pocket. Yeah, man.
Nice. Big up Savage. Yeah. Listen, man. I told her, just off topic. I did tell everybody, you keep talking about Mbappe, but the brother's got pair goals. I didn't really understand it even at that time, but it is what it is, isn't it? Like that's just how social media works. But what Jerry said, you're right. Like I can't really say too much. Like and you're right in terms of there's a lot of players, I think, anyway, in this team. This is why I keep saying I'm so intrigued to see what happens in the summer. Like I would love to know. Obviously, I don't know how it's going to work, but I want to know if Slot's going to start signing more of the players that he feels will work better in his system. Because when I watch Ali, like if we're just talking specifically last night's game, he made me nervous. God knows what he made the defenders feel like. Didn't fill me with any level of confidence. The savior, cool. Outside of that, you were shit. shit on the ball. You didn't like. It's not even like I didn't even feel in moments where you were an option that I wanted the team to pass to you. I didn't even feel that way because I kept sitting there thinking, nah, don't give it to Ali. No point. Do you know what I mean? He's not gonna offer us anything in that kind of sense. So I'd rather you just not give it to, you know, I'd rather you just not give it to Ali, you know, in that kind of situation, because we'd probably be better served to just getting the ball up the field in another way. But ultimately, if that's how Slot wants to play, which is absolutely fine, yeah, you're gonna need a better keeper with it who's better on the ball. Or like ultimately, whether that's Mamba that's really or not, by the way, I still haven't seen enough to suggest that he is. Like the way that Slot I feel wants to play, I feel like you need Edison in goal. Like I can't think of another goalkeeper off the top of my head. Maybe you guys know better goalkeepers more than I do, but you need Edison. What else is there? Like I can't think of another, because Allison just, oh my days. Last night you were just pissing me off, bro. You just making man feel nervous. Every time that the ball's at the back, I'm thinking, Verge, I beg you don't give it to Ali. Or Kanate, I beg you don't give it to Ali, bro. Like I just need him there for saves. I just need you to do the goalkeeper thing, because you're the best, in my opinion, at that. When I needed to make a top save, Ali is the guy. He's the one I trust the most out of 99.9% of goalkeepers out there, and probably out of everybody, because he can make those saves. But ask man to start playing football, Jesus Christ, bro. It is like watching my son try to run in a straight line, bro. It's just mental, bro. It is just not happening at all. Worst thing that can happen to a keeper is losing even a millisecond of your reaction time. It's a shame, but this is fine margins to win the big trophies. Ali is so flat-footed. Real talk for a Brazilian. He's very, very flat-footed. I don't really understand that. Sorry, guy. I know I haven't read all the comments. I'm just trying to throw them up as much as I'm angry. I'm annoyed at certain people's performances. I didn't realize I was this annoyed. Slot honeymoon patch is over. You need to grind out results now. We're gunning for the title. Yes and no. Yeah, I hear it. I won't even disagree with that. We need major, big up LA. And good morning by the way, to everybody in the building, man. I hope everybody is blessed. Please vent your frustrations in the chat. We need major investment in the first team, but I'm not expecting big things to happen with FSG scum there. Slot should get sacked if Arsenal win the league. Hey, that's a yeah. Well, I'm not advocating for that. I like Slot. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got no problems with him. Let's talk about Diogo Jota. Let's talk about Diogo Jota. Supposed to be a gunman. He's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Jota the Slotter. Is that what I'm sure that's what the people then call him. Jota the Slotter and that. Jerry, man, chat to me about Jota, bro. I don't know if Jerry's there. Nope. Okay, cool. In regards to Jota's performance, sorry, I'm just reading a message here. Wow. Savage, which one is last season? I'm assuming it's the second one. Oh, yeah, it would be the second one. In regards to Jota's performance, yeah, that was rubbish. That was rubbish. He got an assist and he was still wank. And I don't even use that word, but he was wank. Like that was. I'm even trying to now just quickly just look how many shots did Jota have. He had Jota had 5 shots off target. Yeah, that was probably that summed up. In 66 minutes, you had 5 shots off target. Yeah, that was that's poor. That's poor. Obviously, he had this, and I don't even know what to say, because it's not even the fact that you missed. Obviously, it's annoying that you missed, and like I am surprised the fact that you did miss. It's the fact that you missed this badly, though. Like the shot went so, you know, when he's taking the shot and it's almost like the camera didn't know where to go because it didn't know where it went. I was like, oh, I thought this hit the back of the net. Like, I didn't think it was gonna go all wayward like this, but it didn't. Jerry, man, chat to me about Jota's performance yesterday, bro.
Hello, sorry, it cut out. I didn't hear.
Yeah, no, I'm saying chat to me about Jota's performance. Jota.
It's a weird one, man. It was a weird one. Like, you think you could have done better in certain areas,
that shot was obviously crazy. Like, to be fair, even the way he shaped up, right? When you look at that first still, it's like he's switching the I'm swinging the ball that side. I'm switching it that side. There's no way that I'm wrapping it. If he wrapped, I'm not gonna lie, if he had wrapped that ball from that angle, it'd have been an unreal finish.
Yeah.
Unreal players are the only ones that do that. I've seen Suarez do that. Knock it through David Luiz's legs, run round the ball and wrap it into that. You got to really wrap it. That shot was mad. Apart from that, look, he had a shot where he swiveled and hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
He had the header, which he got on target. And you can see he was a focal point. And Liverpool, like, for how bad we played, and it was like, or how bad people think he played, Liverpool played better as a team by having him. Like, it was a better performance than what he did against Wolves. So I was looking at it like, okay, you're getting the chances, you're there, it's gonna come. And he intercepted the ball to go and for the first goal. He actually intercepted the ball and then played a pass across for Salah.
Yeah.
So I mean, so again, he was switched on. He was involved in the game, and as a forward, that's what you kind of want. He wanted it. He was taking responsibility. Like, we talk about just shooting with Szoboszlai. You weren't delaying his run or to find Salah there, or you weren't cutting it back for Szoboszlai. I'm shooting in it. And look, we probably need a different forward. We want a different forward, but ultimately we've got this forward in it. And I think he was all right. He was all right. Now, if you looked at that, obviously it's context because we're in a title race, but if you looked at that just from a simple standpoint, like, like, I've come to watch a game and you saw him and you watched him live, you'd be like, he could be a problem. You probably want to go and see him again. If you just didn't know who it was, you'd be like, there's something there, like, he didn't, that wasn't on top, but I saw this bit and the way he worked and he was winning the ball in midfield and driving with it. Do you know what I mean? At first, that first 20 minutes, again, I thought Villa struggled. Do you know what I mean? And he was a big part of it. But when you're looking at crucial moments, and again, we talk about crucial moments, he's got to finish that. Like, you just got to finish it. You just got to get on target. And yeah, that's the biggest disappointment with it. But then he comes off, and do you know what I mean? We bring in the next brother, and boy, because I know who I'd rather want on the pitch for that shot there. I know who's finishing that. For how bad his performance is, I know who's finishing that. Boy.
You know what's bad, yeah? But before we get into that, because listen, look, Jota's miss was mad, by the way. I'm not even trying to excuse it, and I don't want people to detract from that either, by the way. His miss was we'll go back to it. The miss was mad and it was poor. And I did feel I agree to some of what you said in regards to Jota's performance. And yes, he was a focal point, but at the same time, I guess context where as you say, we're going for a title in these moments. This is why, as big up Double T, this is where we look at. I'm like, I know, but I need your finishing to you. Like, you had opportunities to score. You have to put one or two of those away, bro. In these moments, this is where I look at you. I'm not saying you're R9-esque or Haaland. Forget R9. I'm not saying you're Haaland-esque level. I'm not saying you're Harry Kane, Lewandowski type of level. I get that, but come on, bro. Like, one of them at least. Like, one of them has to go in. Has to. By default, one of them has to go in. They weren't like some of these chances that he was having. This is obviously the maddest, but some of the chances he was having, they weren't mad chances. It wasn't like, oh yeah, but no one would ever score that. I expect someone of the quality that I think you are. I expect you to put at least one of those away, bro. But you didn't. And that's where people will get wildly frustrated, because you're like, obviously, as people are saying, with Jota, he is quote unquote, apparently, like, he's our best finisher, right? From what people say, where, like, whether you agree, don't agree, that's just what people say. He's our best finisher. If he's our best finisher, I'm sorry, you have to be putting some of these away. You have to be. Like, I can't excuse you. Not this is worse. Like I said, this is almost glorifying everything. But the fact that this was the end product of that whole sequence, I'm just like, broski, come on, GG. Like, I get it. Like, this, I've seen Kane miss a mad shot before. I've seen Haaland miss from literally open goals and stuff. I've seen it all. We've seen it all. I've seen top players do this. I get all of that. You had various opportunities to score, though. It's not like this was the only opportunity you had in the whole game, and then that was it. You had various opportunities to do so, my brother, and you didn't score. Man, that for me, that's where I'm looking at you and I'm like, yeah, you could be all of these things, focal point and do this, that, and the third, but you didn't put the ball in the back of the net. So to be honest, you were shit in the game as well. I can't really say anything more than, yeah, you was dead. You didn't offer me anything. Like there was you being there didn't make any difference to what I needed. Anyone could have been in that same situation of winning that ball back. And to be honest, you didn't even win it back. They passed it to you. So it's not even like you won the ball back. They get Garcia gave you the ball. And then you just had to pass it to Salah, and that was it. That could have been literally Diaz, Gakpo, Chiesa, could have been anybody. So I ain't giving you props for that even in itself. Did you get what I'm trying to say? But listen, it is what it is.
But
man.
do you know what it is? Do you know what it is though? You see if we win that game, it's a context in it. If we win that game and he has that performance, we probably give him like a 7 out of 10.
Nah, I wouldn't give it. But how can I get like you didn't score, bro?
No. He didn't score. But if you went and we won the game 3-0, right? We probably give him a 6, 7 out of 10 easy, because you'd look at him and be like, he's the one that went and again, you talk about the pressing game, which is important for Liverpool. He's the one that went and pressed. It wasn't just once, by the way. He done it like 4 or 5 times. He's done it like 4 or 5 times. So 4 or 5 times where he won the ball, slipped it to Szoboszlai, and Szoboszlai has got stuck under his feet and he hasn't shot and stuff, right? This is the one way he slotted it to the right man. Of course, Salah's not missing that. He's scoring, right? Yeah. Overall, you look at that and be like, yeah, you done like a 6 out of 10. Yeah, if you had finished and got a goal, you probably would have been an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, maybe out of push, but it's probably a 6 out of 10. And that's the thing with Jota. His all-round game was all right today. It was all right, like coming back in deep, linking up, playing the passes, getting into the box to get in the chances. But it just won't go in it. It won't go in. And again, I feel like it's context, because if you win that game 4-0 and Szoboszlai scores 2, Trent scores his 1 goal and Salah scores another couple, we look at it and we're like, right, okay, that was a good performance from Liverpool. Yeah, maybe 7 out of 10. You could have done better with the finishing. And that's the tone you'd have. But it's context as you go to your point. This is where title race, you've got to go and finish. And that's why I'm like, ultimately, that's what football is, isn't it? It's a game of just small margins.
Yeah.
If Jota scores that goal, Aston Villa probably don't go on to win it. We probably go and score or go on to score their goal or draw. We probably then end up winning the game. But we don't in it, and that's why I agree with the rating we would give him. I'm on your page. I'm just saying, if we win the game, the narrative is different. The narrative is different because you look at it and you're like, he didn't have, for his chances, he didn't have that Núñez chance, and we'll get onto it. But he didn't have that one. You see, that one's the one where you're like, at any level, I don't care about it. Everything else is like, do you know what I mean? You're shooting from outside the box. It's a header. You know what I mean? Not every man can hit. Yeah, you know what I mean? We're criticizing him based on the level he's performing. Do you get it?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
the level that you look at him at, you're criticizing him based on that. Like, oh, he should have done better with that header. But if you saw Bradley with that header like that, you won't be like, yeah, he should have done better with that header. You'd be like, oh.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I wouldn't.
Do you get my point? But you're looking at Jota like, you're the finisher. Yeah, I trust you to finish it. Same way with Salah. We do the same thing. If Salah missed some of those chances, or like against Wolves where we saw it, where he struggled to score, and we're like, bro, like, what's man doing? Do you know what I mean? But other players in that situation, bro, nosebleed settings, like Szoboszlai and a certain Mr. Núñez as well.
Before we talk about Núñez, I'm just looking at a poll that I did. Which miss was worse? I put Jota or Núñez. Obviously, that Jota chance or the Núñez chance. 19 votes so far. 26% say Jota, 74% say Núñez.
It shouldn't even be a discussion. And you know what? Just for that, I think we should go and block ENDZ still. You don't like it, ENDZ. You don't like it, bro.
Okay. How do I even unpack this one? Okay, I'm going to ask everybody. So everyone in the chat, I just need your opinion and all of that stuff. Jerry, obviously, I'm going to ask you. Before this steal, because I couldn't find I was trying to get the steal before we get to this point here. So when Bradley plays the pass, by the way, very, very good pass, by the way. When Bradley plays that pass into Szoboszlai, for what we want from Szoboszlai, do you mind take away the fact that he missed? Let's just act like he didn't miss, and we haven't got to that sequence yet. Do you think it was the right choice to make that pass in the first place, considering where he was in front of goal. Do you think that Szoboszlai should have, forget the fact that Núñez missed, just for 1 second, people, do you think that Szoboszlai should have just gone for goal himself? Jerry?
For someone that look, I'll put it like this: for someone that wears the number 8 at my club, right? My number 8 in my team, like that coach, I know my midfielder's rassing that.
Okay, cool.
He's rassing it. Side netting, he's just not even thinking about it. Shoot first, ask questions later. Real Bronx GMs, I mean gang members. Shoot first, ask questions later. You deal with the repercussions afterwards. But again, we talk about personality. Are you the guy? Do you want to be the guy? Do you want to be the man to go and, do you know what I mean, put your name up in the lights? Trent rasses that. Gerrard rasses that.
Yep.
Coutinho rasses that.
I even think McAllister shoots
Suarez.
that.
I think even McAllister rasses that. You decide to square it. Cool. However,
I watched it back, by the way. I watched it back.
What I also want from my midfielder, right? What I also want is right decision making, giving the ball to people that are in better positions because you are the creative hub. So, Ødegaard probably tries to shoot. Messi probably tries to shoot. There is a small percentage, though, that he might slip you in like that because he feels keeper's on job today. My number 9, the skeng man of the team, the one that's the real shooter. I'm the gang member and I'm holding, but there's the man that's the real shooter. He's the real gunman. He's the one that arm out, hanging out the whip, hanging out the JMC, the GMC. Book. He's there. He's like, bro, give me the whap. I've given you the whap, bro. Clap it. Man's doing all of this. Not even looking shook. Man shook like he's the driver.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, man shook like he's the driver. Missing.
Man's leaning at the car, but you're not aiming like you just
aiming at the car. It's a straight line. You're on the highway. You've pulled up. You've slowed down next to the basketball court, the concrete jungle. You've slowed down. Yeah. All he's got to do is like he's never shot in his life, bro. Like he's never shot in his life. Because ultimately, if the striker scores it, Szoboszlai, that was good from you, you know. You made the right decision. Because again, that's football. You only make the right decision. Small margins, right? We look back at our hindsight and say, rah. But if he shoots and misses himself,
it's a mad thing. Yeah, if he misses,
like,
it's a mad
how
thing.
could you not square that, you idiot? That's what it is, isn't it? Ultimately, he's giving the responsibility to the number 9 who should be wanting to take that responsibility, right? It shouldn't be the drivers trying to shoot. The driver's the one that's like, bro. It should be the one that's, do you know what I mean? He's giving it to the shooter, and the shooter does this. But he does this. Bro, no. They do this every single day in training, you know. Ball goes in, ball goes out wide, first time finish. Go on inside training, people. Please go and view inside training. First time finish, back post is a basic attacking play. Finish. But man decides to no bobble. I looked at the pass again. There was no.
Yeah, that's
bobble.
what I said. I had to look back just to make sure I was looking at the right.
You see, like Jota's pass. You see Jota's pass to Salah. That had a bobble on it.
That had a bobble. Yeah, it did. Yeah,
had a bobble on it. This one, no bobble. It was a carpet. All you got to do is just. Rashford scores that on the other side. Watkins scores that.
You know what was mad, man? You know what was mad? Yeah, like it wasn't even like because I had to look back at it.
No. Martinez is behind the ball. Mings it's an open goal, bro. It's open.
No, 1,000,000%. What I had to look back on,
he could have cut back. He could have cut back. He done it.
Yeah, because and that's what I was just about to say, is that Disassi was already committed to trying to block it. But he even the fact that Disassi was trying to block it, he wouldn't have gotten there because Núñez was already there at that point. So even if Núñez had shot that on target, Disassi wasn't getting that regardless anyway. But you're right, he could have just chopped back, finished it. Like there was a couple things he could have done. the fact that Nunes from this angle skies it, I said, bro. But you know, like when he did it, yeah, I promise you, when that move happened, I remember I was in the middle of like I was typing to you lot in the group, yeah. And I remember I looked up and it's like I saw the pass go across. When I saw it go across, and obviously I could see Nunes is the one running onto it. Something in my head, I didn't think it would go that way. I thought it was gonna go near side. I thought he was gonna go near post. So I just thought, yeah, he ain't scoring this, which is a mad thing to say. Pops, not today, bro. It being his first touch is probably the most irrelevant thing, because it's not like I've asked you to bring the ball down from 50 yards and it's coming to you at pace and you've got six man around you.
I'm telling you now. Wood, Watkins, Delap.
Watkins is not missing that, bro.
Callum Wilson, Isak, Tony, Wissa, and Buemo. Who else is a forward in this shit league? Munoz at flipping Fulham. Who else is here?
Wissa.
Wissa, I said that. Who else is a forward?
Mateta.
Flipping Calvert-Lewin, Mateta, Nketiah. They're all finishing that.
Havertz don't even miss that. Yeah, Havertz don't even miss that, you know.
No, Marino finishes that. I saw him finish. Lovely. You see, technicians. But because this is the point. This is when I talk to people, right? To play for Liverpool, right? It's not just about how fast you are, how many skills you've got. For me, your fundamentals have to be high. Like where in 20 years' time, you could pack in football, but I give you a tennis ball and you can do kick-ups. That needs to be the level for me, for you to play at the elite teams. This isn't.
I get you, by the way, Pops. I get you. Sorry, go on.
This isn't Sunday League. This isn't like raw. This is a Premier League forward we signed for 80 million. Do you want even a further indictment?
Sorry, before you continue, just want to add, just so that you can continue. Slot, by the way, he did mention that because it was on Nunes' weaker foot, like he threw that into the thing. He said, it wasn't on his stronger foot. He's right.
Fuck you, Arnie Slot. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, man. You're starting to piss me off. You see, bruv, he needs to realize quick when it comes to me, bro. You ain't getting that.
When he said that, I started passing up. I said, huh? You know, like if I felt like the room even went quiet, like, huh? What do you mean, like?
No. Is he violating at that point? Is he like, you know, I'd say that to like my missus. If she missed the ball, I'm like, but you try to use your left foot. I hear it.
Yeah.
You never use your right foot, let alone your left foot.
Yeah.
Brother, just instep, hit it into the open net. Like that.
He didn't even need to break stride. He didn't even need to break stride at this point.
He didn't. The pass was perfect. If he wanted to, he could have cut back in on his left and rasped it. Diaz scores that. Gakpo scores that. I'm not sure about Chiesa, but but Dan scores that. Elliot scores that. Flipping hell.
Yeah, even Elliot, because Elliot would have just tapped his left foot obviously as well, but he just would have tapped that in.
Robbo scores that. Like any of them score that, and unfortunately, it's him that misses. You're the number 9. You should be the best at this. You should be one of the best in the club at this. This should
be bread and butter for you. Bread and butter. Like.
No. G. Do you remember when Nunes scored? Was it Brentford where he scored the 2 goals? Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I was telling man were getting excited about the second goal, and I said, "No, the first one's the one where I'm like, rah." He actually finished that when Trent played it across, and it was a first time finish. Because I'm like, rah, like he actually scored that goal. That was a good finish. You got into the right. For me. Look, you know what Slot said, yeah? Based on Slot after that shot, they panned the camera to Slot and Slot.
Oh yeah,
and he looked at the third official and said, "Please tell me it was offside. It was offside, right?"
He's like, offside. I see him like, what? No offside. And then he's like, I see him like walk away. I said, yeah, he needed it to be offside. Like he needed that moment to just be, yeah, he's offside anyway. Because then we'd laugh at him for missing, but we'd be like, it doesn't matter anyway. Like he was never onside.
This is a joke. Honestly a joke. A joke.
The thing is, the thing is, right? I get obviously. Listen, look, both Jota and Nunes both missed gilt-edged chances. To be honest, Nunes was, in my opinion, was worse. Purely because
there's no debate, G. There's no debate.
Yeah,
There's
because
no
like
debate.
you see, with listen, Jota's one, it was bad. I'm not gonna excuse it or anything like that, but it wasn't as easy a chance as Nunes's one, because Nunes's one at least was just an open goal, where Jota still got to beat the goalkeeper, try and bend it into that corner, whatever he needs to do in that situation. I'm not saying he shouldn't know, by the way, people. He should still score. But Nunes had an open goal and he's running onto it. So it's not even like Nunes, like, yes, Jerry's right. Yeah, he could have chopped it, but he didn't need to. Like, he actually didn't need to do any of that. He could have just left foot, finish, that's it. That's all you needed to do in that situation. There was nothing more, nothing less that I needed from you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But the fact that you missed, I said, yeah.
G.
Yeah.
You know, if you had to say the biggest, what is Nunes' biggest issue as a player? Forget the finishing. What's his biggest issue, would you say?
Say that again. No, say that again.
What's Nunes' biggest issue as a player, apart from finishing?
I would say composure. I don't feel like
composure, but that comes in like decision making and stuff, right?
Yeah.
The decision of what to do was taken out of your hands, because when the decision's in your hands to do something, you pass the ball off the pitch, trying to do number 10. I don't know if you saw that when he's like doing this with Szoboszlai, and Salah and Szoboszlai get mad. That's Nunes at his worst. This is instinct. Just finish. Just finish.
This point here from Savage. This point here from Savage is what I mean. The difference is Jota could have got his on target and still not have scored, which is correct because of the angle, obviously, of that chance. Whereas if Nunes just gets his on target, it's a guaranteed goal. Like on target, you just score because there's no one in goal. Like, if you just got it on target, you would have been calm. That's the bit. And I think, I know. This is why you like those type of chances, they're so bread and butter for you. Because I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt at first. I said, I don't know, man. Like, was that pass by Szoboszlai? Like, was he like overstretching it or whatever? Then I watched it back and I watched it from the angle that Nunes is running from, and you can see it. I can't even explain it. But the way he takes that shot, it's like it's almost like he goes a little bit off balance. Like and I'm like, I don't get why that would even happen. Like, you're fast, by the way. You are like rapid. So you getting to the ball was never going to be an issue. So I don't get why you didn't just put that into the back of the net. Like, it's almost like he looked like he wanted to rattle it into the back of the net. I was like, brother, you don't need to do that. It just a pass into the net and you're good. Finish off a good sequence, a good move. Everyone's smiling. 3-2 up. We're good. Bob's your uncle. That's it. The fact that you did that, though, I disagree. You're not seeing it from his angle. But I'm gonna assume you talk about Jota. I think I don't know which one you're talking about. Yeah. I saw it, Mike. Big up, Mike. I saw it. Make sure you guys subscribe to Michael Talks Football. But yeah, I saw the Uruguayans now. Like I see side yesterday. They were like, someone said, "Oh, yeah, but then you'll get the Nunes sexuals. They would like, always be like backing him and blah blah blah." And then one of these like Uruguayan Nunes pages underneath said, "No, we disowned this guy. Like, we can't back." I said, "Rah, you not just threw man in the bin." And the thing is, it had to be Nunes, and that's what I said. I tweeted it yesterday. I said, I feel sorry for you at this point, because it's you who seems to get these opportunities, and it's you who seems to keep missing these type of opportunities. Like, I don't know what it is about you and not being able to finish the easier chances, but bro, I was not laughing because I was just like, how do you miss, bro?
But honestly, but G, like, this is like, and we said it at the time, and I said it at the time when I used to do my streams, right? Name me a forward that's had a consistent run of like missing chances the way he is, right? Like, missing chances.
and has ever recovered and become a quality striker. Has ever recovered and started finishing. Torres, once that started happening, it was over. Werner, once that started happening, it was over. Who else?
I don't know any. Like I don't know. I don't know any.
But that's my point. There's no one. It's over. It's over. It's fully over for MG. It's fully over.
I'm just looking at this. Yeah, we got Tom. Yeah, Tom just he put this was in 2023. Look at that, 2 years ago, and obviously he's got like Nunez as misses, and he's got the miss. Yeah, you remember we played against Ajax away. Yeah, if you guys remember in the Champions League, we had that green kind of kit. And Bobby puts it on a plate for Nunez, and man hits the post. I said, bruv. Nah, Nunez, you're actually hilarious, bro. You're actually hilarious. G and Jerry, please help me out. Why did Nunez not pass the ball to Salah when Martinez ran out the goal? Instead, he tried to take it round him and got slide tackled. You know what's mad about that? Yeah, I agree that was one option he could have done. But in my head, I was like, why didn't you just dink it over the keeper? Like at that point. Like, it's like you just, I don't know. It's like you just kicked it forward. I don't know if you thought.
No, but all he's got to do is kick it forward. Pass. But this is a pattern. No, but I'm not hearing it. He hasn't rasped the ball. This isn't like he smashed the ball. Someone has played the ball.
No, not this one. No, not this. Remember there was when Martinez came. Yeah, when Martinez clattered him.
Yeah, because he's a donut. Because again, decision making's poor. But I'm telling you now, he hasn't even try cut back in and try win the foul. Nothing. You just hit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
he just tried to tap it. He just tried to tap it past him.
That's what. Yeah, why did you try to tap it past him?
Because you don't think of the next play. It's just whatever. I need to just get the ball. It's like rugby. I just need to just get the ball. But he didn't think about, all right, once I get it, where's my touch taking me? So even that touch, if he kicks it off, if it goes out wide, he's then got to take another touch, cut back in, and then slide it across to someone. Any good player just goes and flicks it over him and then makes their run towards the goal. Your first touch when you get that ball always needs to be towards the goal. Because then you've got the option to come back out wide and play it. But it needs to be direct. This guy, man, honestly, you know what? Why are we even... He just needs to, honestly... Liverpool made the... You had 70 million on the table and we turned it down.
Yeah, because apparently we ain't got no strikers, innit? I mean, if Nunes
no.
there,
Keep Dan's. Use put Soboslai up front, put Endo up front for this. Endo scores that. No, Endo scores it. You think I'm joking?
We got everyone in the chat, you know. I sly felt hope when I saw it. Yeah, brother, you're an Arsenal fan, of course you did. Like you definitely was hopeful that it would be Nunes on the end of these chances. When Gakpo returns, just run the Diaz false 9 thing again. We have 2 useless number 9s. You could say that. Depends on how Slot, because Slot also mentioned about obviously Jota has been out. We haven't been able to use him for like the last 4 or 5 months, which in itself is mad when you think about it. It should have been over in last. Yeah. It should have been, man. The thing is, it's funny because the Nunes sexuals, they're so quiet this evening. Well, they were so quiet last night. So quiet. Like I was sitting there thinking, these are these type of situations. Obviously, you can't really say anything anyway. But yeah, this is why people get onto him, because people wouldn't get onto people get onto Jota, but they'll just get onto Jota for that one game. Man ain't gonna get onto Jota for your general Jota more time will score these opportunities. So I'm not really gonna get onto Jota unless this becomes a pattern. But right now I'm not Jota's just that was just a really bad day at the office. The problem with Nunes is we've actually got a list. There's a list. There's
3 seasons, bruv.
There's 3 seasons worth of
3 seasons, 2 different managers, 2 title run-ins. Bruv. 1 player. Bruv, honestly, he's crap. Honestly, he's crap. Like
I don't know what I don't watch Inside Training, by the way, Like I don't watch. I really don't
No,
watch it, so I don't know.
it's not.
I
But it's
don't
not
know.
about that. It's not under pressure. Him under pressure is shit. When he just the ball's coming across and he just got to finish. And bro, I could do that. I could do that. I think I'm joking as well. Yeah. I've seen Chunks do that.
I've seen Gomez rush it into the net. You know, mad. Like
I've seen Gomez
mad.
free kicks. Do you remember? He
Yeah,
was doing that
yeah,
thing where he's
yeah,
slapping
yeah,
the
yeah,
free
yeah.
kick with Shaqiri. Do you know what I mean? Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, training's a different thing though. Training's a different thing still.
Training. I don't want to hear training. Training.
That's why I always say to you, I'm like, bro, you see these inside training videos. You people need to stop watching it, you know, because you guys are watching it and thinking that. Remember when I can never forget Thiago? He's coming back from injury. Everybody was watching the inside training. Man did one shimmy into the net. Came off the bench. Man lasted like 2 or 3 minutes. Thiago out for the rest of the season. I said, bro, you people need to stop showing me fucking inside training. I couldn't give two shits about inside training. Like inside training is only going to be from a perspective. Obviously, I get why they do it. Obviously, you know, to the kids out there who just want to be able to see what their team is like, you know, in that kind of environment. But they're never ever going to show you what's really going on in training and how the intensity levels and stuff like that. But they're only going to show you the best bits. Remember, we know that you know how we know this from when we found out that they had to cut some bits that Rio, because Rio was twisting man up in first team training, and they had to cut those bits out just so that it doesn't look mad that he's twisting up first team players. Like that's how you knew, okay, but this thing isn't like they're just gonna show me like the best bits basically. Like that's all I'm realistically gonna see. So that's why when people talk about inside training, I'm like, guys, I beg you stop showing me that. Like inside training is not going to show me anything at all. I don't care. I don't want to see it. I don't care if I see man running, doing a madness in training. Like, what does that mean? Like, I never understood it. It means absolutely nothing to me.
Gee, like I Show Speed might even score that.
Yeah, Savage just said that as well.
Oh, did he?
Said, yeah, he just said it there. He said, I Show Speed.
Yeah, man, great man to think alike. Man, listen, it's got to the point with this guy, yeah, where at this point now, it's not even his fault. It's the manager's fault. It's the club's fault. And if he continues playing and continues coming off the bench, right, I'm not blaming Nunes. I'm blaming Arne Slot. And we got to start putting some blame on him because right now he's starting to the decisions today. He's starting to annoy me. Like the Trent, we got Trent scores. Trent's finally starting to impose himself in the game, right? Because he's like, no, we need to get a goal. You see how important he is, right? How important he is. Even the passes he's playing to Jota. Oh, man takes him off at 60 minutes and brings on Bradley, bro. What was Bradley going to do? And yes, he played the pass for Soboslai, but you get my point. It's like it's true. Everything's working well. Like why bring on Nunes?
Bringing on Nunes wasn't, again, I didn't have issue. Yes, you could say that, but I didn't have an issue with bringing Nunes on the pitch, though. That wasn't my problem. In my head, I was like, yeah, well, you kind of probably need to bring him on because of this high line. Nunes can break that. He's the quickest attacker that we've got. So it makes sense. If you're going to play him in that position and you're trying to get the ball like for the chance, I don't even, like, again, that wasn't even my issue. It was maybe just the personnel. As you say, the Trent one made no sense to me because he didn't start the game off in from what I saw anyway. It wasn't great at the beginning, but then he grew into the game. So I was like, why would you take him off? But he did say Trent could only play a certain amount of minutes because he's still getting back to fitness. So I was like, whatever. But I do think that you could have maybe waited a little piece, maybe, but fairs. But yeah, bringing Jota off for Nunes didn't really make too much sense. That was my only issue. I felt like you could have taken off someone else. But take off Gravenberch, bro. Like I didn't need put, I don't know, Jones back in there or something. I didn't need Gravenberch on the pitch anymore. Don't know if you remember people arguing with me because I wasn't gas at the man them doing planks and slamming them. Yeah, bro. Like all of that dumb stuff. Like that's like, bro, I hate inside training. Obviously, I'm not a kid, innit? So I can, like I said, there is an audience for it. I'm not mad at the fact that they do it. I just don't like it. Like I don't think I've watched one inside training. It's only ever been like clips that Mandem keeps sending around. I'm like, bro, I don't want to see this. Like I don't care about it. We haven't won at the Etihad for 10 years. Say, swear it's been 10 years. Fuck. 10 10 years we ain't won there. Nah, it must be 10 years. Right. I didn't know it's been that long. No, but we've won again. No. Oh, no. Because I was going to say there was that time when we beat them. Firmino scored. But was that 10 years ago? 2015. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. I'd have to double check. I feel like it's been sooner than that. But listen, if it's 10 years, then it's 10 years, man. I've not watched Inside Training in years. Yeah, bro. Like, again, if I was like my son, he might want to watch something like that. Like, fair enough. And I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, I know there's an audience for it. So I'm not trying to rubbish it in that way. I'm just saying, me as a grown man, why the fuck am I watching Inside Training? Slot looking shaky. I mean, if Slot uses players he doesn't believe have form or the proper skills, this is on Arne Slot or the owners for not backing him when he got a few alternatives. That's if we don't know. Like I say, with this, like, I mean, we'll have that conversation in the summer anyway. But yeah, we don't know with that whole situation. I'll be honest. Trent was on minutes restriction though. That sub was planned to save Trent for City, and he still isn't back to on. Yeah. You're right. Double T, do you guys think our last few results are more on the players or the manager? Maybe 50-50 for me, because the Wolves game, I don't know what else he himself could have done. I just feel like the players, yeah, nah. Because I feel like he was coaching a game where it's like, bro, like, do better. But if the players are not doing better, I don't know what more he could do in that situation. Yesterday, I don't know, maybe more here. Because the players were like, at times, obviously he didn't legislate for Nunes missing kind of thing. So yeah, I'll probably say more on the players. The Everton one, probably more him than the players themselves. You could say 50-50, maybe 60-40 in favor of either or, to be honest. That's kind of the way I would look at that. Trent was pissed when he got brought off. That was like my missus stopping just when my toes start. I'm not even gonna I should have read that before I even said it. I would have taken Robert off for Diaz as he was getting the ball on the wing loads of times. Big up Bizzle. Trent just come back from injury, needs to manage his minutes. Plus, he's playing rubbish before he scored. I hear it. G. Bradley was the one who started the Nunes misses with the pass. Yeah. 2015 on the clock in his first season in the league. That's what I was thinking. I do remember. Excuse me. I do remember. I do fully remember that game. I fully remember it because I remember the Firmino finish was like at the near post kind of thing. I think was it Coutinho played him in. What was Coutinho? I remember that game. It was November 2015. So that was the last time we won at the Etihad 10 years ago.
Wasn't it when Coutinho cut inside and that against Company? Do you remember when he had the little afro thing?
Coutinho cut inside. The only time I remember doing that was at Anfield, where we won like 3-2 that time, and he curled it into the. It's
the one when he actually no, that was the year before. Sorry, I'm thinking of the one. Do you remember when we had Brendan Rodgers title charge?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was at Anfield.
Was it when Company made that mistake?
Yeah, where he's kicked it and it's gone to Coutinho, and then Coutinho's like, that was at Anfield. Yeah, I remember that. Can't remember when he scored that. I was like, yo, we're gonna win the league. Yeah, and then obviously that didn't pan out the way I thought it was gonna pan out still. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So you guys are saying in November 2015. That is a very, very.
All I'm saying is, we are now going to be dealing with the backlash of them getting pumped by Real Madrid. We saw what happened to Newcastle. You're gonna get Marmoush is gonna be on smoke. Yeah. Carl, listen. I told man, and the thing is, like I said, if we lose against City, I'm putting my stocks in that. Automatically, all my stocks are going from winning the league to losing, and Arsenal win the league. And they'll go on a run where they've won 10 games in a row, and we'll be like, oh.
Let's wait till we get there. Let's wait. Ultimately, let's put it this way. The way I see, because like I said, I saw a lot of people talking. Yeah. Skirtle did score. Yeah. I remember that game. I thought it was that game. Ultimately, last night's game. I know. Listen, yeah, we're 8 points clear. I can't judge. Like in terms of the game in itself, I think it's a bad result, but that could potentially change if Arsenal lose tonight. If Arsenal win, you've gone from potentially going 10 points clear to now 5 in the space of 24 hours. That is only bad. Like there isn't another way of looking at this other than that's bad. Do you know what I mean? Like there can't be there's a no, there is no silver lining. I don't want to hear any content creators say it. Like you're all just trying shit. I don't want to hear any fans say it. You cannot go from being potentially 10 to 5. Like in the space of literally 24 hours. That, like, for me, it doesn't even make sense in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't even make sense. So, yeah, like I said, it's all literally, as always with Liverpool, determined by another team in order for, you know what I mean, things to look in a certain way. Obviously, we can only go game by game. I ain't got a clue what's going to happen against City. I don't know. I think Arsenal got Forest or something like that next. So, obviously, that's that next batch of games. So, you can go back to 8 if Arsenal obviously win, you know, this evening. But, yeah, right now, look at it like, nah, that's a bad result, man. I expected you to go away to the Etihad. Even though I predicted you to lose, it was just more of a, yeah, I'm predicting you to lose, but I'm hoping you're going to come out with that victory. You didn't. At Villa Park, sorry, and you didn't. So, yeah, it's one of those, man. It's one of those. I couldn't give a shit about Man City when we haven't beaten Villa. The City game was not important last night. Yeah, true, man. True. And I swear, bro, can someone tell me, is Arne Slot suspended for that game? I feel like, weren't he supposed to be suspended? I don't know.
Because they're reviewing the thing, innit? So I think he might be suspended for City.
Look at the coincidence, eh? Honestly, Arne and assistants can see what we can all see. Some players ain't what they used to be, and Arne's forced to use what he's got available this first season of his, but it may cost us. Yeah, let's see. Listen, man, he seemed like he was happy with what he's got, boy, so he's going to have to just run the rhythm in the way that he wants to run it. We're not being City. Liverpool love a tight race till the end, only to bottle it. Crikey, big up promo, though. Yeah, no, the race is, listen, forget the, I'm not even looking at it like that far ahead. Like, obviously, I know Jerry obviously said that, but I'm not really looking at it like that. I just look at it as I can only go really game by game. I don't really care what happens in the next, like, 5 games. I'm just more like, I always go game by game and look at it like, okay, I know everyone does but Liverpool, we need this amount of points. To me, I don't actually care about that. Like, no one knows how many points we actually need because we don't know if we're going to get those points. Let me just go game by game, and then I can see where we're at in a general sense, you know, in terms of the actual league title and all of that kind of stuff, and then we'll see where we're at, you know, come that time. So yeah. Yeah, Suarez. to your thing, Suarez.
Yeah, no, literally. Last man. I said to people, guys, the last time I saw, one of our strikers doing this, hands over the face, ripping their hair out. Yeah, but the capitulation. The last time I saw that was Suarez at Crystal Palace, bro, on his knees, crying, knowing, yeah, this is the last. This is going to be my last hurrah. And boy.
To that point goal ratio, Love Savage sent me this this image. You're right. We have one more point than last season. Obviously, Man City, who are a lot closer at this point, they were only a point behind. Arsenal were only 2 points behind. Obviously, they both usurped us at this point. So, hey, are we doing that much better than last season? You guys can. We had a better goal difference last season, actually, to be fair, from what I can see here, plus 38 to the plus 36. Interesting. It's very, very interesting looking at it. It's very, very interesting. Because, yeah, as you can see, teams have just dropped off into, and Arsenal not even, they would only be 2 points off of what they were on last season, and we are 1 point. Yeah, 1 point off of what we had last season. Yeah. Technically, we are actually worse off at this.
What? So you're saying what? Slot's a downgrade?
Is the team behind? Yeah, no, not Slot. I'm saying the teams behind us, look at them. That's why, and this is why, and again, I don't want to keep saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The teams in for this season have dropped off so much. We've kept at the same level that we were at. So if this was last season, we wouldn't be top. That was always my kind of point.
No, we would be top.
Oh, sorry, no, we would be top, but we wouldn't be going on to win it, because the reality is, when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, but you can tell that it's the same.
You wouldn't
trust
the players to come back and just
exactly
and finish the job off. So we're in a great position, just as we were last season.
Yeah,
but man are starting to do up Nunes and Jota and whoever else. You know what I mean, Konate at the back is what it is.
Yeah, no, we were okay. Again, I'm never gonna submit to the notion that I thought we was good, because I didn't think we was good.
Listen, you're talking to the most anti-Salah, anti-Klopp person, bro. What do you mean you were good?
Yeah.
No,
it's
G's not having that at all.
Nah. I'm not saying nobody can say that. If you think it's good, then it was good for yourself. For me, that wasn't. I didn't look at that and think, oh yeah, we're good. I just thought like, we're just mad consistent. You know what I mean? I'm not like watching it thinking. I'm not watching it with any level of confidence. This season, the only reason why I have confidence that Liverpool can go on and win the league is purely because of the drop off of everyone else.
And that's what it is. You're right. No, but factually, you're right though. That's what it is.
But it's not to say that we can. Yeah, they are. I mean, Arsenal worse off, City are worse off. But even forget it's Arsenal and City. Just look at the points. Anyway, you can see it in the points in itself. Like the points,
but you know, like Liverpool have exactly, that's my point. But they're worse off based on the points. I'm looking at it and it's like, City, Liverpool are that cool. 1 point in it is not that deep in it. But City, Arsenal had 53. Do you know what I mean? They had 58 that time around, and ultimately they didn't win it. So they've kind of stagnated. But it's City the ones that have just dropped off.
Yeah. Oh, listen, man. It is what it is. But listen, man. Listen, we're 8 points clear, guys. We're 8 points clear right now. As of right now, 11:33 a.m. on the 20th of February, we are 8 points clear in the league. So look, right now it's calm. Hopefully Arsenal lose tonight, and then we're still 8 points clear. If that is the case, perfect. Absolutely no worries. And we go into that, into that City game, and it's just more about, I guess, just don't lose. Do you know what I mean? If we ain't won there since 2015, then I'm not that confident that we're gonna go there and win, even though Man City have been a bit shoddy in that. It's still it's clearly a voodoo kind of ground for Liverpool. One quick question that I wanted to ask you before we head out. Yeah, you see, obviously for tonight, obviously Arsenal playing, right? Do you think it's more pressure on Arsenal, or do you think right now they're just looking at it thinking the pressure's more on Liverpool? Like, who do you think's got more pressure right now, in your opinion, anyway?
I'd say the pressure will be on them because Liverpool dropped points. But I don't think anyone looks at them like winning the league anyway, and I think that's where Arsenal are dangerous. When they've got no pressures when they perform.
Oh, on the weekend. Sorry, weekend, guys. Sorry, weekend. I thought it was today. Sorry, weekend.
Yeah, on the weekend. So because they've got no pressure, you might see a better Arsenal because there's no pressure on them. When there's pressure is when I don't think Arsenal are the type of team when there's no pressure on them. So, like, the longer it goes on, Liverpool are like, Liverpool are still favourites. Liverpool are favourites. Yeah, Liverpool are the ones Arsenal do right. It's when Arsenal are like, no, they're in and amongst it. If they win this game, that's where Arsenal start to crumble for me. So
I'm just clocking something. Maybe it will change. Maybe this will change, right? Arsenal are going to keep having a game in hand over us.
Yeah,
I'm sure that changes, maybe. Because I just think about, because you guys are obviously saying it's on Saturday, right? So Arsenal right now have a game in hand.
Yeah,
but obviously once they play
in hand.
Once we play against City, they will then have another game in hand.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say it's 5 points.
Yo.
4 points.
Liverpool and teams having games in hand over us do not go well. I tell you that much for free. Okay, I thank you, Byron, saying it changes on the weekend of the League Cup. Okay. So, okay, cool. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm in my head, I was thinking it must change at some point in time. It must change at some point in time. Yeah, because I was thinking, don't we? I'm sure when we'll start having games in hand. But listen, we'll get to that when we'll get to that. Chelsea's the game in hand, I think. Yeah. Let's wait and see, man. Yeah, they will have that for a while. Okay, fairs. I'm trying to look at the fixture list anyway to see, but we'll check it out when we get there. We'll leave it there, though, man. We'll leave it there. I need to head out anyway. Got lots to do today. Love Jerry, obviously, for locking in this morning.
No worries, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Liverpool. Listen, man. Drop points, shit finishing, not that great of a performance. Still top of the league by 8 points. So silver lining. Every cloud has a silver.
What's your prediction then? Liverpool still win the league? I'm gonna ask you after every game. I want to know when it turns. What are you saying?
I'm gonna say
20th of February, 11:37. G believes Liverpool win the league still. This is crazy, you know. Debating it like.
Yes, I'll go yes for the time being. From the 20th of February, I'll say yes.
Say no more.
I'm not confident. I'm not like my confidence level is definitely not up where you lots is. But yeah, I'll say yes for the time being. Yeah. Like I said, I just don't think the rest of the league is even good anyway. So it'll be more that than I feel that Liverpool are gonna just do really, really well, if I'm being super honest. What about you?
I don't think we win it anymore. I lost hope. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday killed me. I'm back to my normal self. It's over.
Big up Bizzle, man. Big up Bizzle. Yeah, well, we'll see in it. Obviously, it will probably change, give or take. I will give. Let me see. I will just put the fixtures. Arsenal fixtures. They got West Ham, Forest, United, Chelsea, Fulham, Everton, Brentford, Ipswich, Palace, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, Southampton. Kind of calm fixtures there, right? Fucking hell. Liverpool fixtures: City, Newcastle, Southampton, Everton, Fulham, West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Palace. If I had to,
Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton.
Yeah, we got it goes West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Palace. They've got their last few games are Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, Southampton. And they've got Ipswich in there. I don't know, man. I feel like they got I don't know, like maybe you lot in the chat, maybe if you've compared them already. I feel like they got easier fix. Like, I feel like the beginning of this run that Arsenal have is quite difficult. But then the rest, Fulham, Everton, Brentford, Ipswich, Palace, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, Southampton. I feel like that's easier than Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, and Palace. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to sit down and proper compare it. But yeah, you're right, goal ratio. Like, we'll just have to see after that West Ham game, and then of course take it from there, man. But guys, big up to yourself. I better get going before I get into trouble. Like I said, love Jerry for tuning in. I don't know who's live. I don't know if ENDZ is gonna do a stream. Big up Paul, man. Love for locking. You seem to always get in right at the end. But nah, much love for subscribing anyway to the channel here, man. I appreciate that 100%. Question is whether the Geordies and Cherries are playing for Europe. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of. That's what I said. I don't know. Like, I couldn't really guess what's going to happen in terms of, because there's going to be teams fighting for Europe, trying to get out relegation. Some teams might already be where they're going to, like, they're going to finish where they're going to finish, so they don't really care. Yeah, so, yeah. No, it's true. But yeah, I will be back. I don't know, actually. Shit, I actually don't know. I might not be back for a few days. I'll see. You guys just keep your notification bells on, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, we'll see. But peace.